Here we go again. I thought I should get on and just do a quick update because I've been kind of watching gold and silver, and it feels like we're kind of peaking for this step right now. And I'm thinking that this is going to happen a little bit like what happened last summer. If you remember, gold and silver, especially silver, ran way up. And then what happened is we had a slump for months. And it was just a gradual, it wasn't a kind of like a catastrophic thing, but I want you to be aware that it's very unlikely that we're going to go substantially higher from here for now. It's got to kind of consolidate. Everybody's got a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little too excited and jumped on too fast. And so this is normal. We'll see. As things step up, we'll see them kind of drop down a little bit and then come back in. I don't know why my nose itches like crazy whenever I talk. So what are you guys thinking? I just saw John's portfolio says he's up 22% for the year, 22% change. So he's doing very good for the year for the gold. I got to wait later in the month for the silver report, but I think our portfolio is doing better than that for the year, though, the improved portfolio. So what's going on, everyone? I'm on day 4 of my fasting, intercessory prayer and study. And I'll tell you, it's making a huge difference. I'm feeling better and better every day. Got a long ways to go, I know, but it's better than taking pills. This is making a impact. I can tell. Listening to my Christian music all day long, stopping about every hour, doing some prayers. Kind of recommend everybody consider something like this. Hey, Greg Steinberg. First one to comment. You win a star. I don't know how to do it though. Can I do this? Oh, look at that. I got little icon thingies. I hadn't seen that before. Here, I'll do one. I think that's a smiley. I don't know how you, oh, I see what I do. Okay, up here, can I click on these things? Oh yeah, it brings up all bunch more. I never saw these before. This is kind of neat. All right, so I think I can. I don't want to fool around with this while I'm trying to do a live stream, but I'll try to get familiar with that because I can throw something up real quick. Cheap Laugh Kennedy's in the house. Alex Sadusky. Full name. Yeah, actually, I looked at just my quick phone on, I have like Yahoo Finance, a bunch of these stocks, and it looked like they got hit a little bit today. It's funny, gold and silver didn't really get hit, but the miners did. I think they sold off with the stock market a little bit. Gen C is here. So I don't know how many of y'all caught the beginning, but I suspect that we're going to kind of have like a little bull flag formation here, which means we're going to slump back a little bit on the price, just like we saw last year, and then it consolidates, and then we'll take off again. So I just wanted you to hear that. I mean, short of anybody, starting to bomb someplace or whatever, and that might jump it back up. But right now, I think we're going to see a little bit of consolidation. So let me know what you think, but I think that's where we're heading. This is kind of cool. I don't remember these things before. This must be a new feature it gave me. Symbols. Oh, okay. Maybe I can figure out the star thing now. I see a sun, but I don't see any stars. What would be neat is if you use one, if it puts it up in like the task list so you don't have to go hunting for it all over. Oh, wait, there's a moon. Okay, here we go. That's a sun. I can do that. That's close. All right, there's your star, Greg Steinberg. Just happens to be the sun. Oh, there's a star. All right, too much fooling around. I guess you can consider the sun a star, right? That's the first time I saw those there. I didn't remember that being there before. I know everybody else has been throwing things up, but I just never figured it out. So anyways, like I said, I kind of give God the credit. He gave me this idea for this, and I've been praying for him for guidance, and this seems to be working really well. I'm pretty pleased. Very relaxing. That's the other thing, is just not doing anything, just relaxing, reading, praying, listening to music. Should have been doing that a while ago, but it's like, I'll tell you, work really screws up with your mind because it's nonstop, right? When they task you every week, you got this laundry list of things, and then they just keep piling it on, and you never really get caught up. And then you end up carrying that into your life because you're trained to just be so task oriented and knocking it out. And I think that's what happened. I just ended up not stopping even into retirement. GP100 is in the house, and Susan H, Jen C, Michelle Simcoe. So anyways, I hope you learn from my lessons. I try to learn from other people, but in a way, I'm very thankful that I'm retired, that I can devote so much time to this. Because, how would you do that if you were in a very demanding job, to try to just disconnect for like 21 days? That'd be very difficult. Yeah, work is a 4-letter word. I'm a taskmaster on myself, though. I'll tell you what, I constantly do lists, and I got to knock it out. But right now it's health, right? You got to take care of your health and your family. Anybody else still not got their stimulus check? I think mine's coming in this week. It's been a long time. When did they first start putting them out? Was that like April? Seemed like it was early. A lot of my friends got theirs right away. Mine was screwed up from last year, though. My tax return had to be filed manually, and I don't think it ever got closed out. So everybody's quiet all of a sudden. How do I get rid of this thing? Now that I got that thing in there, I don't know how to get rid of it. Oh, there we go. Oh, GDXJ. There you go. It's not a bad idea. I think mine's going to be used, my half is going to be used probably for driving to California and back. That's going to be a heck of a deal. So let's see. I was trying to think about that. 4,200 divided by 20, 210. Well, it's going to be like $400 just in gas. What is gasoline anymore? Is it over $2? So it might be $500 in gas. A lot of gasoline, but way cheaper than a plane tickets, I think. A lot less aggravation. I don't know. You can get on a plane and be there in 3 or 4 hours, or drive for 32 hours. I probably should go think about the plane trip. Good God, that's a long ways to drive. I have to think about it. I'll do some research to see what it costs for flying. I just thought it would be something to get my mind off of things, just drive down the road. Oh, $1.86, that's not bad. You know, so many times you're just using your debit card and it's mindless when you pay at the pump, so you don't think about, really what you're paying. Years ago, when it was like $3 a gallon, we used to really shop for gas just for a few cents difference. But it's like we don't have that many choices in this area, anyways. I haven't had any flashbacks in like 4 days now. So that tells me that my stress level's coming way down. Um, it's kind of interesting how fast this is kind of going away. Yeah, I don't have any. There's nothing in Vegas that would be of interest to me. You know, I don't have a lot of hope for uranium right now, still, and I think it has to do again with people's mindsets. Um, you had an opportunity when the market kind of crashed down to pick some up fairly cheap, some of the uranium mining stocks, but I don't see that as like a long term thing yet. We kind of have to have this, um, I guess I would say, like a complete breakdown because of the solar and everything not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and maybe some coal problems. But nuclear, like California, they just turned off all their nuclear plants. They were not very bright, but that's what they did. But excuse me, it was also kind of dangerous with all of the earthquakes and everything they had out there, so they probably felt like they had to. Chung Choi, Pacha Papa. Yeah, cheap Vegas flight. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't. I'm not a gambler. I'm not a drinker. I don't party. I'm boring. So there's nothing there that would be of any interest to me. I haven't even planned my stops. Um, I really need to sit down with the um, AAA website and try to plan like every 8 to 10 hours to have a hotel lined up. Because there's some places when you get past, say, like Dallas, it starts getting pretty sparse. And so you better have it kind of planned out where you're going to stay because you'll drive a long time in between cities. So you don't want to be at like the 8 hour mark and then pass your spot because you could be driving like another 4 hours before you get somewhere. And that could be brutal. Yeah, I believe you're right. I mean, we're early in likely a 10-year bull market. So, look, we hadn't even doubled yet, and we're potentially going to 17 times. So keep in mind, that's kind of what I've been telling you. If we do like what happened in 1970 to 1980, the precious metals went up, off the top of my head, 17 to 18 times. We're really not even at one, doubling at this point yet. Yeah, I'm taking the southern route out there and then driving kind of the northern route back. So I need to, like I said, plan just a couple things, but it's just going to be me. So more than likely I'll just be driving. I just like driving. I'm not a big sightseer. there's enough to see on the side of the road that I'll be happy with that. I remember Chevy Chase, his movie where they went and visited the dam, and he was asking about, where the damn phone is, the damn bait shop, and went on and on. It was hilarious. I loved that. Hey, are anybody seeing these huge temperatures that are across the U.S. right now? It's kind of more across the Midwest. They're getting some temperatures like in 120 or whatever. I mean, that's right across where all our wheat crops and everything else are. Anybody experiencing that? I just saw something the other day. That looks like that's going to be catastrophic. I mean, think about it. Last year we had all the rain, and this year now we're going to have tremendous heat. That's just going to really screw up a lot of our crops again. It's like the opposite extreme now. Let me know. Oh, wow, 106, huh? Is that above normal GP? Yeah, it's we're seeing slightly elevated here, not terribly elevated. Oh, sandstorms, not good. That's just what I need. Sandblast my truck while I'm driving down the road. I did call the court today to find out, municipal court, to find out what the heck was going on with evictions and everything. And they said they had actually started back up last week, but they're only carrying like a half a caseload because of, spacing. And so I said, well, I filed my thing on Friday. What's the outlook? Is this like a week, 2 weeks, a month? I mean, I don't know, what anybody else has been doing. She said, call back tomorrow and we can give you a rough idea. So everything is starting back up again, but it's, I'm curious, what date they're going to sign me. It could be a month away, which is, really frustrating. Again, we're paying all these taxes. They haven't reduced the taxes. In fact, they went for a tax increase this year, and the idiots locally here voted for it. Can't believe it. And you think about it, there's been no schools, no courts, nothing, and yet we voted for an increase. It just makes no sense. I haven't noticed it. Well, to tell you the truth, let me explain. I haven't really gone to the store. Every once in a while, um, I go to the store and get bananas. That's really all I've needed. And every once in a while, a gallon of milk. But it's, I just don't really go to the store. I don't eat out. Went to Waffle House the other day with a friend and only ate a couple eggs and a piece of chicken. But it's like everybody does debit cards. It's very rare that you are using cash. There's only been a few places that I know of that take cash. I think the barbershop does cash. So I haven't seen firsthand, except for that time I told you I went to the hamburger joint a couple weeks ago, and they did not have change. So I gave them a whole pocket full that I was carrying around. It's kind of funny that we would have a coin shortage when I think hardly anybody uses cash anyways. It's just sometimes I have cash in my pocket and I use it, but most of the time it's just a debit card. I don't know if they're pulling coins out of circulation or not. Could be. Or it's just people are not spending because they're stuck at home. I don't know what the problem is. Probably both. Think about this. I've researched this several times and I get slightly different numbers depending on, the articles that I read. But I think we are in excess of 80% of the transactions are digital. So we're on this cusp of where physical money is essentially obsolete already. Tremendous amount of digital transactions. And I bet it's a pain in the butt for these stores. In fact, Kroger locally, they charge you to get cash back. That used to be a deal where they were trying to unload the cash because they didn't want to fiddle fart it with it, counting it, balancing their registers, all this stuff. So they were trying to give it away. But now Kroger is charging for you to get cash from them, which I thought that's kind of backwards from the majority of the folks, because the majority of folks, get this out of my register, because I think everybody would rather not have to handle the cash if they can avoid it. So they like to just get it back out of the thing. Yeah, I know a friend for years, he would go get like $200 out of the ATM and he would that was his allowance for the week. And when it was gone, it was gone. He was done. But he only used cash. He didn't use credit cards. And, for lunch, everything else, that's what he used was cash. I really don't like carrying cash, truthfully. I put a couple $100 in a wallet. That's it for emergencies. I got stuck at a restaurant one time. We went to this hamburger joint in Florida. Everybody was just raving about it. And we sat down and I ordered, iced tea for both the wife and I. And then I happened to see on the menu that it was cash only. I go, holy mackerel. I looked in my wallet and I had just enough to pay for the tea. And I said, hey, we got to go. We don't have any cash to pay. I thought it was so weird, but there were a couple of places like that in St. Pete. One was Ted Peters, where they had smoked mullet. Cash only place. It's funny that the dollar bills say legal tender be used for all debt payments and stuff, and yet, some people could say no cash. I don't know how that's even possible, but I've heard of people getting upset when you bring, 1,000 pennies to pay for something. They don't want to mess with that, but just paying in $20 bills or something, that should be normal. Well, anyways, I wanted to get on here and just touch base with you and let you know this is easier than kind of going through a full video right now. So I'll just get on every once in a while and talk to you guys and let you know what I'm thinking. When I start seeing some significant movement, I'll slap some charts together or something. But like I said, I may just be going old school in a little bit, just doing some videos on my phone. Not being able to do anything fancy anyways. Maybe I can talk to you while I'm going down the road and you can actually witness real time a, head-on car collision or something. Wouldn't that be exciting? I do not see Biden winning. I honestly don't. I don't even think it's going to be close. I think they are so screwed up on that side, and everybody has seen what happens. And that's a beautiful thing about the way Trump's kind of played this with letting the cities burn and everything. Goes, here you go. These are the people in charge, that want to run the country. You sure you want that across the whole country? I think that's That's his argument. He is going to just destroy them with commercials, political commercials showing what those dummies had done. Yeah, they'll try with voter fraud like they always do, but I think they're going to put some things in place. We'll see. I don't see Biden even having any remote chance. That guy, he'll probably forget to show up to the debate. Yeah. A lot of this stuff, you can't believe half of what you see they're saying, because this is all pandering to their constituents. You'll never know, though. We all got to just make sure we vote. Yeah, I just have yet to see arrests. Where are the arrests? Again, you see this different standard, right? These upper level people, they just don't get held accountable. Edgewater Heating is in the house. You keeping everybody's ACs cooking? Tell you, if you're in the middle of the country, they're going to keep you busy with these 100+ degree temperatures. Yeah, that was really curious. The letters that was given to everybody at that thing, I think it was early on saying that they had confiscated their wealth, their ill-gotten wealth, but nobody knows. Oh man, can't buy new equipment, so you're trying to keep everything repaired as much as possible. I didn't think about that. Well, I hope I don't have that trouble. I got 2 rental properties with 2 older ACs. They're the only 2 I've got left. That, of course, any one of them can break at any time, but these other ones are ancient. So yeah, that's a chunk of change, 4 to 5 grand. I'd have to dump in one. Yeah, I bought a chest freezer last year, and I wish I'd have bought another stand-up one. I really like the stand-up ones better. Think about that dang McCain funeral. That was probably 2 years ago, and nothing's happened. What is that? What's up with that? When did he die? Good grief, that was forever. John McCain's funeral.
John McCain was buried on the 2nd of September 2018.
That was a pretty good guess. 2 years ago. I was off 1 month. 2 months. That's how long ago those notes were passed. And what have you heard? Nothing. Yeah, I remember that. We used to have those big fans that would pull air all the way through. In fact, a lot of people had the whole house fans. Those were even better. It would pull air like up through the attic and out. But they don't really work in the high humid areas. Like this can be very high humid. They work better in drier climates. That's what I believe. I believe this is kabuki theater. I think it's until I see some things that are really happening. But you never know. Unfortunately, we're never really told things except for maybe like 30 years later, you might see it, let out. But they keep this stuff hush, hush, hush. And it's really a shame, because how do you ever hold other people accountable? But anyways, I wanted this to be just a 30-minute deal. So we've hit our 30-minute. So I thank all of you for coming. And I'll keep all of you in prayers. I'll add you to my intercessory prayer. And if you can keep me and my family in prayers, I'd appreciate that. So I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Do the best you can. God bless.